Tonight, right here at 5 o'clock, a Kentucky lawmaker wants to allow former military and federal agents to help keep your kids safe. Thanks for joining us. I'm Shay McAllister. Doug Proffitt has the day off. Senate Bill 2 would create the Kentucky Guardian program to help assist understaffed SROs. Senior reporter Isaiah Kim Martinez is here now. And Isaiah, exactly how would this work?
Well, Shay, Kentucky Senator Max Wise calls his bill School Safety 2.0. Part of it would open up the pool of applicants to bolster that hedge of protection that's seeing gaps across the state. School safety remains top of mind for so many families across Kentucky and in JCPS. Superintendent Dr. Marty Polio at his State of the District Tuesday adamant school security must be the right fit.
Our police officers are educators too, and they must be trained to be educators.
In an update Friday, district officials tell me they have 25 school security officers, a significant jump from last fall, but still a far cry from what the state mandated years ago.
We're facing right now a staffing issue, a workforce issue.
A school resource officer on every public school campus.
And maybe this helps fills the gap.
Kentucky Senator Max Wise, who helped get that law passed in 2019, is back for Part 2.
The Kentucky Guardian program is part of Senate Bill 2.
Wise's latest bill proposes allowing former military, federal agents, and retired state troopers to work security in schools. He believes expanding the field of candidates would help alleviate the staffing problems.
Maybe the SRO is assigned at the high school or the middle school, but the elementary school doesn't have anybody there. So this would allow that person then to kind of step in.
These would be armed employees working alongside existing SROs, but they wouldn't hold the authority to make arrests. Wise says they would complete the first of 3 levels of state SRO training, which specifically teaches how to interact with students.
How to deal with young people. It would deal with awareness. It would deal with students with special needs. We kind of narrowed it down to who can be. They still got to go through all the appropriate examinations.
Is this bill going down the path of thinking about the potential of arming school teachers or other faculty?
We have not seen any push for that. You know, with this bill, once again, we're targeting who we feel like are the best that can fill that guardian role. I'm not saying a teacher couldn't fill that role, but for right now, this is what the language of what we've got.
Now, the bill allows school districts to decide whether they need or want to make these hires. It also doesn't provide any funding for them, though Wise does say school districts can use dollars set aside for SROs in the state budget for this effort. There are more parts to this bill. We'll have that on our website tonight on WHAS11.com. Shay.
All right, Isaiah, thank you. Well, a reminder here, JCPS has a 2-pronged approach to school safety with safety administrators and safety officers. An administrator is in every middle and high school to build relationships with students and handle safety issues. 6 are spread throughout the district for elementary schools. Safety officers are armed law enforcement officers. They focus on 3 to 7 schools in a geographic area surrounding a high school. Tonight, a person is in custody after a shooting and then hours-long standoff in the Shawnee neighborhood. Louisville Metro Police say officers initially responded to a shooting around 10:45 this morning on Lindell Avenue, where they found a man who had been shot. He was taken to the hospital in serious condition. Police say a possible person of interest was then seen going into a nearby home on West Broadway. That's when SWAT responded and a standoff began. Just before 2 this afternoon, police told us the situation was over. Another shooting victim was found inside that home. Police say he had been shot before they arrived. That man is expected to survive. Everyone involved in this incident is accounted for or in custody. And new right here at 5 o'clock, the former police chief in Bloomfield, Kentucky is now facing criminal charges. The Nelson County Sheriff's Office says following investigation, a grand jury indicted Harry Steve Cambrin on charges of tampering with physical evidence, falsely reporting an incident, and official misconduct. According to court documents, Cambrin made false allegations against another Bloomfield employee and tried to withhold information during an investigation. The Bloomfield mayor fired Cambrin and other city leaders last May. Cambrin's scheduled to be arraigned on March the 7th. Also new right here at 5, police in Jeffersonville say they have seen a trend in youth crime over the past 2 weeks. On February 11th, around 6:30 in the morning, police responded to a burglary at a FedEx on Maritime Road. Investigators say multiple teenagers, all from Louisville, led officers on a short chase that ended with their arrest. Police believe they were involved in 3 other burglaries at FedEx. And on February 14th, this was the scene at Academy Sports after police say employees confronted a 14-year-old girl and 18-year-old boy about shoplifting. Investigators say that those 2, also from Louisville, ran from the store and were later arrested. In a statement, the department says they're working with schools and parents, adding, quote, "Now is the time when togetherness within the community can help create a safer environment for everyone." Today, the Kentucky Senate passed a bill designed to give nail techs more representation on the state board and more opportunity in the licensing process. Senate Bill 14 was born from a major push last summer, with nail technicians and salon owners from across the state gathering in Frankfort, asking lawmakers to give them more power to succeed in their industry. The nail techs and salon owners described instances of abuse of power by the state board and discrimination in the licensing process, with applicants forced to test in English even if they don't speak the language. Well, co-sponsor Senator John Schickel from Northern Kentucky says it ultimately all came down to supporting small businesses.
These small businesses, Mr. President, members of the chamber, are in virtually every strip center almost in every city across the Commonwealth of Kentucky. Hard-working people who ask nothing more than to be able to earn an honest living and to pay taxes and have full participation in our society.
Senate Bill 14 would require the State Cosmetology Board to add a nail technician to the board for more representation and allow retesting. It now heads to the House for consideration. Now we have an update on our coverage of the persisting issues with Riverlink. Today we learned what the agency calls a misread has been resolved, all within hours of our story airing. Yesterday we shared Brant McCool's story. He says he was billed for bridge crossings he didn't make with a car he doesn't even own. McCool pointed to photos attached to the invoices sent to him in the mail, showing a Honda sedan with a different license plate than the Volvo that he drives. He disputed the charges, but hadn't seen any action or response for weeks. Well, now, McCool tells us the bills and late fees have been retracted. Riverlink says misreads are very uncommon, but they are possible with an all-electronic tolling system. Well, what a Friday afternoon we have for us today. Blue skies, sunshine, the warmth out there, Colleen. It doesn't get any better than this as we head into the weekend.
I know, especially when we're talking about February weather. We really have had a stretch of some warm temperatures out there. Right now, some blue skies. This is exactly how we want to end the week and start the weekend. Sunset tonight is just around 6:30 p.m., so we still have an hour and a half. And before you know it, daylight saving time will start to begin in just about 3 weeks. I think it's the first week of March. So yeah, we're going to have a sunset past 7 p.m. soon. 56 right now in downtown, 54 in Bowman, 55 in Fort Knox. So temperatures hovering right around the mid 50s and 60s. It is a bit breezy though. Right now this is live 28-mile-per-hour wind gusts that we're clocking in E-Town. Windy conditions throughout your evening. In fact, that wind is actually going to stick with us all weekend long. But it's a mostly dry forecast all weekend. Throughout the rest of the next few hours, those clouds will start to build, cooling off to the upper 40s and low 50s as we head throughout the rest of your evening. And overnight tonight, it is going to get a bit chilly, hovering just above freezing here in downtown, but I think outskirt communities will be in the upper 20s. And yes, there's a chance of seeing an isolated flurry with our surface way too warm throughout the afternoon and even overnight tonight. It's not going to stick. So looking at your weekend, those clouds building overnight, a few scattered sprinkles early in the morning, and that could transition to some wintry mix. I'll talk more about that and also what the rest of your weekend looks like ahead. Shay?
All right, Colleen, thank you very much. Well, now a local story that's been celebrated across the nation. We are, of course, talking about the JCPS bus driver who made Pajama Day so special for one of the kids on his bus. Here's that picture that started it all, Levi in his brand new PJs. But now more people are pitching in to help out his family. Our Ian Hardwick and chief photojournalist Philip Merle took a ride on the bus with driver Larry today to see why he loves his job.
Larry Darnell Ferris Jr. is Bus 1311's now famous driver.
I hope my bus isn't too messy. The kids didn't turn up, did they?
Even after a full morning driving kids to school, the rows of seats are impeccable. The captain of his own yellow ship, Larry is watchful.
They can't see me in the mirror, but I can see everyone.
But it's all to keep the kids aboard safe. They're why he loves the job. So when 1311 rider Levi had no pajamas for PJ Day, his driver made a special delivery.
When I seen that, it made me sad. But knowing that I helped, I was right back happy. I was right back to it, you know, and he was right back to it. So it was the Levi that I was always seeing every morning.
Up in the front of the bus, right next to the bus driver. That's where Levi usually sits. In fact, it's this seat that takes him to school and brings him back home almost every day of the week. But a story about a simple gift of pajamas has taken him some unexpected places.
Larry gave us this picture of the two in the Big Apple. Taking out all the stops, national news flew Levi out, and he ate his first slice of New York-style pizza. Back home, Amanda Mills with community support group South End Street Angels raised money for the trip and more, over $2,000 to help Levi's family and give his siblings a shopping spree on Saturday.
We were able to purchase a new portable wash machine, which is the reason why Levi didn't have pajamas that day for the mom.
Even with the support and attention, Larry's humble about the exposure.
I want to give recognition to all my bus drivers, all the staff that actually do what I have done that hasn't been recognized. I just want them to know we see you.
In Louisville, Ian Hardwick, WHAS11, on your side.
Just an incredible story. Well, if you're interested in helping to support Levi and his family, you can do so through the South End Street Angels. We have a link for you on our website's homepage. That's WHAS11.com. And the special return of a special tradition means Derby season's right around the corner. Take a look at this year's Pegasus Pins. The first shipment arrived this morning at the Evan Williams Experience in downtown Louisville. This year, the Kentucky Derby Festival has partnered with Evan Williams for a limited edition bottle sealed with a gold Pegasus pin in silver wax. Matt Gibson with the Kentucky Derby Festival says the popularity of the pin has grown over decades.
We create hundreds of thousands of them, and it really is the community's ability to show their support, pin something on that they can wear every single day, but it also gets you into over 30 events. And there's not a movie ticket or a concert ticket that you can pin on or wear or put in your pocket that will get you into multiple events like this will.
Well, if you'd like a limited edition Evan Williams bottle, you can only get one at the Bourbon Experience downtown. You can get your Pegasus pin at several other retailers starting on March the 1st.